Real talk, real life, real growth. This is Raw Reality with Torisstory and Fit with Lily. Welcome to the Skin Series, a space created from my own experience with acne. I know the frustration, the tears, and the feeling of wanting to hide. So this series is about real conversations, expert insights, and reminding you that acne does not define your worth. You are never alone in this journey. This is the Skin Series. Let's talk about it. Tia, welcome to the Skin Series.
Thank you, Tori. I'm excited to be here.
Back again.
Your
last episode absolutely popped off. Everyone loved it.
Love that. That's so good.
I'm excited to have you back. And we've got Wilma in the studio today. If you're watching, you can probably see her. Yes, hello. But more specifically today, just diving into skin.
Yeah,
everything
so excited.
Skin, hence the Skin Series. But I just, had this kind of idea where I was like, I just need a few episodes to just talk everything skin. And I knew I wanted to have you on straight away. So thank you.
Thank you.
But firstly, I want to touch on like your skin journey.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know, Tia is a naturopath. And if you haven't listened to our last episode with Tia, go listen. You'll learn so much. But more so today about you and then obviously skin. But I know you've had your own skin journey. When did that start?
Oh, so my skin started breaking out when I came off the pill, and I feel like I just tried absolutely everything under the sun to clear it, and my acne was just so incredibly persistent, probably quite similar to yours. I feel like I saw so many different practitioners, Chinese medicine, naturopathic, and no matter what I did, it would settle down for a while and then it would just flare back up again. Yeah. And it just literally got to the point where I was being so restrictive with my diet. I would fear eating carrots, because there's too much sugar in carrots. And I just feel as though it got to a point where it just really started to impact my mental health as well. Really started to impact things like dating because I just was not feeling confident in my skin. And I actually ended up going on Roaccutane, which for me ended up being an absolute wonder drug. And I had minimal side effects, which was amazing. I mean, I do hear of different client stories where they have the most wild side effects. So I feel very, very fortunate to have had minimal. I definitely did a lot of work while I was on Roaccutane, which I feel as though helped minimize those side effects for me. Coming off of Roaccutane about 6 months after my skin broke out again, which I think just really highlights Roaccutane doesn't actually treat that root cause of why the skin breaks out. So then I went on an even deeper dive doing so much gut work and essentially treating my skin with herbs and different nutrients. And I mean, I still feel like skin is something for me that can go through ebbs and flows. If I'm stressed, if my menstrual cycle is not regular, if I'm eating too much dairy in my diet, my skin will be the first thing to show that.
Yeah. We've just had Easter and I'm a bit worried. No,
you got to enjoy that chocolate.
Yeah, you've got to. I feel that. And I was literally thinking this morning because I made a nice big breakfast and like I've been on my egg train and like you would probably remember like I was like fearful of eggs for so long because I just had done so much research on like eggs fueling like the bacteria and the bad stuff and it's just like you go down this deep dive hole of like all the different things and obviously too for you like studying everything as well even further. Yeah. And then just fearing like so many different things and then restricting. It's like it's just such a frustrating
mental
battle. Yeah, 100%. And how long have you been a naturopath for?
Oh, like 9 years now.
Wow.
Yeah. And then
That's
4 years
crazy.
of study before that, which is kind of showing my age.
Still looking great.
Thanks.
Okay, a common question a lot of people get asked and a lot of people probably wonder that have acne. I know this is like a deep multi-path question, but the cause of acne.
So acne is multifactorial, but the main drivers of acne is bacteria. So the way that acne gets its name is from the bacteria itself, which is called P. acne bacteria. Everyone has got it in their body. I do, you do, but genetically we can overproduce this bacteria. So genetics really, really comes into play with skin as well. So do our hormones. So if our hormones are imbalanced within the body, our sebaceous glands will then start producing more oil. As soon as our sebaceous glands start overproducing this oil, the P. acne bacteria just loves it and it essentially creates this perfect breeding ground for a breakout.
Interesting. I feel like you explain it so well because I'm like, yeah, it makes sense. But I feel like everyone just has that question of like, but why? Like no one knows why. And obviously every person's going to be so different, which we're going to get into. But that is like how to explain it. And I think you explain it so well. How would you know how to find out if acne is gut related or hormone related?
So for me when I'm in clinic with my clients, a really clear telltale sign is if their their acne has just been so persistent, then it's usually gut related. There's that deeper driver. If their skin clears out quite quickly, say for example if I put my girls on herbs, or say for example if someone's taking something like balance hormone support or the healthy skin support and essentially their skin clears from those products, it's usually a sign that it's got a sebaceous gland connection as well as a hormonal connection. If in turn that acne is really persistent and quite inflamed and angry, it's usually gut related.
A common question, and I know it's tricky, and like I thought I could do it without spending lots of money, but it's just quite difficult. But is there many ways, or I guess the best ways to heal your gut, or kind of where to start without spending so much money? Because I think that's where people get so scared, because they just assume and know it's going to cost a lot, which yes, if you want to do it the right way, it is going to. And it's going to come down to your priorities and what you, I guess, how much you want to put into it. But is there any ways that you could like start and that don't cost too much in the beginning?
Yeah, I feel like acne is just literally the most expensive journey.
I honestly think so.
Yeah,
when it comes to supplements, like
it's ridiculous. Like when I think back, I probably spent thousands on my skin, 100%. Which is crazy to think about.
I could probably buy a house with how much I spent on my
house
skin.
Deposit. I always like to remind girls that come in to the clinic that we don't need to go through any expensive pathology testing to treat the skin. I often say to my clients, if we do the microbiome stool testing, that test is for your knowledge. It's not actually for my knowledge, just because usually with this test, it'll always come back with different bacterial overgrowths present within the gut. So often when girls come into the clinic with acne, I'm like, let's just dive straight into a gut cleanse. So I do feel as though a gut cleanse is a really, really good place to start with acne, just because our gut influences so much. So if we do have dysbiosis within the gut, whether that is overgrowth of parasites, whether it's overgrowth of bacteria or even candida species, that will essentially exacerbate these bacteria that are floating around your body. When in turn they're floating around, they get underneath the pore within the skin, inflammation and oil production is then going to drive a breakout. So I do feel as though a gut cleanse is a really, really good place to start. And exciting news, we're actually just about to launch our acne pack in around about 1 week, which I just cannot wait. This product has been such a long time coming, and I guess just going on my own personal skin journey, I'm just so excited to share this product with the community.
By the time you guys listen to this, it will be out. Like you can go to Tia's website, which will all be linked below, and you can get your hands on it.
So essentially with this product, it's a 3-step process. So with the first product, it contains antimicrobial herbs that actually help to remove different parasites, different worms, and different candida species within the gut. So it can be quite common when we first start on a gut cleanse to notice different symptoms, like a little bit headachy. You might move your bowels more often. Sometimes our skin can get a little bit worse before it gets better. Just important to, I guess, push through those 100%. Symptoms. It does also contain the healthy skin support, which was already an acne product that we do have on our website. The healthy skin support essentially just helps to reduce inflammation within the skin, supports your liver detoxification, just helps to clear your lymphatic system so you're less inclined to have, I guess, that build up within the skin. Also helps to regulate your immune system as well, just because with acne there is such a strong correlation to our immune system and why our immune system isn't clearing that P. acne bacteria from the body. And then it also contains a powder that helps to repair the gut lining. This powder's also got prebiotics in it and probiotics as well, so it's essentially like that perfect reset for your gut. We're going to wipe out the baddies, work on helping to treat the acne, and then also work on helping to heal the gut.
Yeah, give me 14 of them right now. I would say that was something I was scared of at the start, because once I kind of went through the stage and I was like, okay, I'm ready to go natural, and I deep dived and I was like, I need like the most specific individualized like program or treatment plan. And so for a long time I felt like I was scared to just take like a supplement off the shelf or like a generic one, because I was like, well, that's not going to help me. But that sort of supplement, like, it's going to help a lot of people.
Yeah,
like
I'm excited
a lot. And I
for
think
it.
for a lot of females or males that just don't know where to start as well, and maybe don't have the money to go and get one-on-one treatment or do the test. Like these sort of supplements, especially when you can hear it from the creator herself and like understand what's going in them, I just think it's going to change a lot of people's lives.
Yeah, I'm very excited for it. And I guess too, after working with different herbs and nutrients for the last 9 years, you see what works and you see what doesn't work. So I'm really excited because I've seen, I guess this protocols get such good results in my clinic.
Yeah, exactly. And I think working on your gut is just like an ever growing, like I think everyone should always work on their gut all the time, because in our society, like there's so many toxins, there's so much bacteria out there that you just don't know what you might catch. So just constantly supporting your gut is like, why wouldn't you do it?
I feel like gut health is trending, but in such a good way.
Yeah, 100%.
So many benefits.
Yeah. Moving from gut into more hormone-related skin, what do you see most in your clinic, and how would you best support the hormones in order to help skin?
So I guess my PCOS girlies can be more inclined to experience those skin breakouts just because they've usually got an excess of androgens or testosterone within their body. When we do have this excess of androgens and testosterone, it can really exacerbate the sebaceous glands to then produce more oil. So I do feel as though just really helping to balance hormones out. Usually too, if our progesterone levels are low, which is essentially like our feel-good hormone as a female, this can also really influence our sebaceous glands to then produce more oil as well. Yeah. So usually when girls will come into the clinic, it's just really about helping to establish a regular menstrual cycle if they're not getting one, and just really ensuring that their liver is detoxing well and not recycling any of those hormones.
Yeah, because I think a lot of people, and there was so many questions came through of like, how do I know if it's gut or hormone? And I think that's something you probably wouldn't know unless you do see someone.
Yeah. Well, I do feel as though there can be telltale signs. So if your skin is flaring before your period, usually it's hormone related. If your skin is just constantly flaring, you're waking up with new actives on a regular basis, then
I feel like mine's gone from constant 24/7 breakouts to more around my cycle, which is still irregular. So sometimes it feels like it's like random, but then I get my period the next week. I'm like, okay, it makes sense. And I think too, like with my journey, I was heavily like, we did so many gut tests, and even like a gut test or a stool sample test like isn't cheap. No. And I was very scared at the start, but I was like, I just knew, and my mum had done it before. So I was like, I knew I need to get the answers, I guess. And then I think I did it again, was it maybe like 2 years later? Yeah. Yeah. And major differences. Yeah. So it's so good to see
the progress
of the work you put in, the money you spend. And I have gone deep into it because acne just ruled my life for a long time. But it's so interesting to kind of get to a place where I am now and go, okay, it's like we are on the way up. And we're still working with it, but it's like
ebbs
the best it's ever been. Yeah. So grateful for you.
Oh, you're so welcome.
Another big driver for acne is stress.
Yes.
Just talk to me about it. Tell me about the relation with stress and acne.
So usually when our body is in that stress state or that fight and flight state, your body's going to overproduce cortisol. Yep. Cortisol really exasperates and fuels our sebaceous glands again to produce more oil. But in our digestive system, we've got this little functional marker called our secretory IgA. And we get a little bit technical here, but essentially our secretory IgA is like our immune system of the digestive system. Right. So stress is one of the biggest things that just strips away at our secretory IgA. So once this essentially becomes stripped away, it just allows opportunity for that dysbiosis within the gut
to like slip through.
Exactly.
And,
yeah. So essentially stress can be a huge trigger for skin.
Yeah. Stress is something we always talk about, and I said this on a recent podcast. Stress was something that I always heard, like stress kills and stress causes this, and I always used to be like, whatever. No, it doesn't. And now being an adult, I'm like, oh my God, like whether it's recovery, skin, gut bloating, like whatever it is, a lot of it comes back to stress. And stress is such a tricky one because you can't see it. You don't see your levels. Like it's something that you have to kind of internally be aware of.
Yeah.
What are your favorite stress management tools?
Well, for me, I feel like it's always about your perception of stress.
Yeah.
It's how your body essentially is perceiving it. So for me, if I'm ever feeling stressed, I'm ever feeling anxious about something, I kind of feel like stress and anxiety have either got control of me or I've got control of it. And sometimes there's not really an in between. So for me, what I'll usually do is I'll write out the thing that's causing me stress on pen to paper. And then what I'll do is I'll write out my next 3 steps to overcoming it. So say, for example, it might be I've got so much on with work at the moment. I don't know how I'm going to get everything done. So step number 1, I'm going to write out my top 3 tasks of what I need to focus on. I'm only going to focus on 3 things because that's what feels good. That's what feels manageable. As soon as we push past those 3 things, our brain can just get overwhelmed. Once I've essentially completed those 3 things, then I'll move on to the next tasks. Step number 2, I'm going to identify what my girls in reception can help me with. What can I outsource? Where can I essentially ask for help? Step number 3, I'm going to put my phone in a different room so I don't get distracted by phone calls or text messages or social media. Because sometimes when our brain is feeling stressed, when we're feeling overwhelmed, we'll just use our phone to self-soothe. And I personally feel as though our phones can actually just exacerbate our stress response. Because when we're on our phone, we process so many different thoughts, and I feel like never before have we processed that level of thought before. So I feel like it can just be so stimulating and so overwhelming for our brain. I'll usually use different things like going for a sauna or going for a beach swim or talking to my partner about things. I feel like sometimes a male's perspective can kind of just
really can sometimes.
really level you out when you're like up here.
They're just so like level-headed. And like, I know Jackson's just like the most realistic person. So I'm like, oh, yeah, cool, thanks.
It's like, why are you stressing about that? You just have to do this. You're like, my brain just did not think like that.
Literally. And I think like everyone has their own ways of dealing with stress, but it's understanding what works best for you. Like for me, sometimes mine are very similar, like sauna, to-do list, write things out. Sometimes it's cleaning. Like I need to clean my space.
Organize the space.
When I have a clean space, I feel better. So it's just like knowing, I guess, your own management. So we've spoken about the gut health and the cause of acne and also hormones. How to know like your root cause? Like what are the best options to really getting to your root cause of your acne?
I guess if you're wanting answers, like pen to paper answers, getting blood tests can be a good option. And I guess an option that is a little bit cheaper than doing microbiome mapping. So if you are going to a doctor and you're getting blood tests done, you want to see a hormone profile, which can be quite challenging to get these days, unfortunately. Medicare is absolutely cracking down, and it's never the doctor's fault for not ordering this test. So never feel like your doctor isn't doing a good job. Unfortunately, it's the Medicare system just putting a lot of rules and regulations on the amount of tests and what tests that doctors can order. But if your doctor is willing to do a hormone profile, you want to have a look at what your testosterone's doing. You want to have a look at what your androgens are doing. You want to have a look at your progesterone levels. You also want to have a look at what your estrogen levels are doing, and even your DHEAS. So DHEAS is a really good indication of that sebaceous gland activity and stress response within the body as well.
Right.
If you're wanting to do a deeper dive, microbiome mapping will definitely give you the answers that you want.
It's very thorough.
I'm pretty much yet to see a client that has got acne not come back with low levels of secretory IgA and bacteria and parasites within their digestive system, which is why I always like to say to my acne girls, this test is for you. It's not for me. Rather than treating the test, let's just dive straight into a gut cleanse.
Yeah, 100%. And sometimes, you do just need to do it for yourself. I think when I first did mine, I was praying for no parasites and candida and worms and things like that. And I think mine was like 5 bacterias. And then the recent one we did, I think there was 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So like just to see the differences, and especially after I had Bali belly, I was like, let's get another one done. But it just like for your own peace of mind as well. And just like if you do end up going to different doctors or whatever it is, you've got that kind of piece of information for yourself to take to them. A lot of questions around acne mapping and like jawline, cheek. So can we go through starting with the forehead?
Yeah, so forehead is usually connected to digestive system.
Yep.
I guess with the acne mapping, it's probably more Chinese medicine related.
Yep.
So for me, it's probably something I'll be, I guess, mindful of when I'm in the clinic, but it's probably not something I'll really focus on.
Yep.
But usually that forehead area can really be heavily connected to digestive system. However, in saying that, I never used to get a breakout on my forehead. And when I did a microbiome map, I had so many bacteria in my gut.
Yeah, right.
So I do feel as though, yes, the facial mapping has got, I guess, some level of evidence to it, but in some cases it doesn't relate to everyone.
Yeah.
Usually when we're in like the cheek, jawline area, that can really be hormonal related, liver related, stress response related.
Yeah.
And then usually that neck area is also hormonal related as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say when I was in the peak, it was just full face. And I just knew my gut was very unhappy. Whereas now it still just stays in that cheek region. But then after Thailand 2 years ago, it was like all neck, which I'd never had before, which was so interesting. So I feel like it can be a good indicator, but it doesn't mean that's absolutely what the problem is. Okay. I want to go into the pill.
Oh,
The pill. Firstly, what is it?
so the oral contraceptive pill is essentially a tablet that I guess has given women a lot of opportunity in the sense of being in control of their fertility. Yep. And I do feel as though we can really paint the pill as the devil. However, I do feel as though it has played its part in some senses. However, in some cases, it can also come with a lot of side effects and is very much a Band-Aid approach. So with the pill, you're essentially taking synthetic hormones that switches off a body system and essentially replaces your natural hormones with synthetic ones. So often I do find when my girls are wanting to come off of the pill, especially too if they have gone on the pill for acne, that's when they're going to essentially get all that post-pill acne come out when they transition off. Yep. So if girls are ever coming in and seeing me in clinic wanting to come off of the oral contraceptive pill, I am all about prep work. Yes. It is so, so important to do prep work before you stop taking the pill because it is so much easier to essentially treat the bacteria, treat the acne before you come off of the pill, because as soon as you come off, your sebaceous glands are going to switch back on, which the P. acne bacteria just loves. And once all that post-pill acne comes out, it's so much more challenging to manage when it's out of the body rather than doing that work when you're still on the pill.
I really wish I had you when I came off the pill.
So I guess what prep work looks like if any girls are wanting to come off is if you have gone on the pill for your skin, or if you're worried about your skin coming off, you might consider doing a gut cleanse before you transition off the pill. When we are doing gut cleanses, it is actually quite important to do a gut cleanse for at least 2 to 3 months. So a lot of people will just complete a 1-month protocol. However, parasites lay eggs. Those eggs will then hatch. Bacteria can also be resistant, especially too if they're hiding underneath biofilm within the gut as well. That can take a little bit of time to break down. So it is important to see a gut cleanse protocol through for around about 2 to 3 months. In saying that, when girls come and see me in the clinic after about 1 month of that prep work, I say, all right, we can essentially stop taking the pill now and come off, but we'll just see the protocol through for another 2 months. Yeah. You also want to take a product that's going to help to switch back on your ovaries and essentially that communication between your brain and your ovaries, just because if you essentially stop taking the pill, that body system hasn't been making its own hormones for, let's say, the 8 years that you've been on the pill. So taking different herbs and different nutrients or a hormone balancing supplement is just such a good way to just switch that body system back on. So then that way you're going to get a regular, consistent cycle when you stop taking the pill.
Yeah, I think that's so important because, and I want to bring this up because we spoke about it in our last podcast, but a few girls had asked, like, do I just stop the pill or do I do like one every second day or once a week? Like, no.
Do not do that.
I remember we had questions. I think maybe even Lily was like, maybe just like, does that work? And we
you
were like,
wean
no.
off it.
Yeah,
like,
it doesn't work.
Not.
And the pill I feel like isn't, I mean, maybe it is now. It's been years since I've been on it, but it's not prescribed for like 3 months. Like you kind of just on it and just people to stay on it. Like there's no real come off time.
Yeah, I mean, I've had girls that come and see me in the clinic that have been on it for 15 years. And I mean, you never hear of your mum being on the pill for 15 years.
Yeah.
You never hear of your grandma being on the pill for 15 years.
Truly.
So our generation is literally the clinical trial for the pill. And I do feel as though when it comes to things like endometriosis, PCOS, infertility, it's like, why are these rates so high right now?
I was about to say, do you think there's such a link between the pill in our generation being so much more enforced and higher rates of PCOS and endometriosis?
Yeah, I definitely feel like there's a correlation. And I mean, it's just kind of what happened. Like I still remember when I was in school, my skin started breaking out straight on the pill because it fixes it.
Yeah, I just remember I never had a skin problem. I first went on the pill because I straight away had irregular periods and I was competing, and my mum had been fed this information too, but straight to the doctor and he was like, yeah, like go on the pill. And so my was never a skin concern until post-pill. So when I was on the pill, I had no issues. My weight always stayed the same. Skin was always fine. The only issue prior to the pill was the irregular periods. And then instantly coming off, everything went downhill. So that's what I say to the pill.
Which is so fair.
Yeah. And everyone's going to have, like, I've got friends who have been on it for 10 years, come off absolutely fine, been on it fine the whole time. Like, everyone's going to have a different experience, but
I definitely feel like prep work is where it's at, though, coming off the pill.
Like, if I could tell any female, my torisstory personal advice would be come off the pill, like, as soon as you can, but do the prep work with Tia. Personally recommend. I love that as a naturopath, obviously you're very natural, holistic, but you do use, the medicine or the pill or the Accutane when needed or when going off what the client needs as well. Like for my journey, I've been with you for like 4 years now, and you're just there for no matter what I need. Like if it gets to the point where I'm like, I need Accutane, you're always like, let's do it. Like, let's figure out a plan. Let's support your gut. Like, I think it's been really great because you can have naturopaths that are like, nope, not at all. Or you can have, your doctors who are just enforcing that. So I think to have you as a very beautiful balance of like, whatever we need to support my client is going to work. What was I going to say? Is with the pill, do you think it's making like our symptoms, obviously it is a big Band-Aid for the symptoms and the issues that people are dealing with. Do you think the pill can cause further issues?
Well, I personally feel as though having access to your natural hormones is so important, especially our progesterone and our estrogen. And I feel like as females, we go through these different waves within our cycle as well. When we're on the pill, that doesn't happen. So I do feel as though progesterone is so important for our energy. It's so important for our mood. It's so important for emotions within the body. So having access to those hormones is just important for general health as well.
Yeah. On the pill, I used to, and I know many either young girls or females do, skip their periods. What does that do?
It's not good. I just feel as though it just really thickens up our uterus lining, which is not ideal. Yeah. And I do feel as though a lot of women just feel like their period is inconvenient. Yeah. But we also just detox so much through our menstrual cycle as well. So it is really important to be having a regular, consistent cycle. And often when I ask my girls, like, what is inconvenient about it? They can't really give me too much. And usually they'll say, oh, it's painful. But it's like, well, we can actually reduce those pains. Like that is a message that your body is sending you, that obviously inflammation is high within the body. So obviously once we then resolve that issue, then having a regular menstrual cycle shouldn't be an inconvenience.
Yeah, and it's one of those, like, we're females. Like it's just a thing we have to manage. And I think through school you're not taught that having a cycle is important and it's healthy and like how to manage it. You're kind of taught what we shouldn't be enforced, I guess. And I think I just pray that in the future our kids get educated more on why it's healthy and how to kind of manage your period and pain and things like that, because more often than not people are experiencing pain with their periods. Would you say painful periods are normal?
No.
Yeah. Let's talk about it.
So when we're getting a painful period, it's usually a sign that prostaglandins are elevated. So prostaglandins are these little inflammatory markers that it can essentially build up within the smooth muscle. When we're coming into period time, your uterus is having to contract to essentially shed that smooth muscle and release an egg that has not been fertilized. So if prostaglandins are blocking that blood flow, it can really trigger pain receptors. So a nutrient called NAC or N-acetylcysteine is so beneficial for just helping to flush and essentially remove these prostaglandins from the body, and then also help to support a reduction in period pain. Progesterone levels are also really important for helping to reduce period pain, which is usually a hormone that so many females are low in, which I just personally feel as though it's because we are so effing busy these days.
Yeah.
So I feel like progesterone just gets depleted just due to stress response or being too busy. When our progesterone's low, that's when you're going to have PMS before your period. That's when your skin's going to break out, and that's when you're going to have a painful period.
Right. I'm going to use Lily as an example because I know she won't mind, and she probably still hasn't messaged you about it. She has never experienced painful periods since, when did she say? I think she was saying definitely since this year, potentially end of last year, has been getting really painful periods. Day 1 and 2, like she used to be able to train through, but now it's like has to have a rest day 1 and 2, because it's just like she's crying every time. Like it's not ideal. Just based off that, and I guess you know a little bit about Lil, what would you say would potentially be the cause of like all of a sudden having painful periods?
Maybe stress.
Yeah.
Like if she's overtraining at the moment, it could be triggering the inflammation response within the body.
Yeah.
Or it could just be triggering that to then drive the painful periods. Or it could be too if she's quite busy at the moment, say for example, big gym sessions like podcasting, doing the client work that she does, it could just be that her progesterone levels are quite low.
Yeah. I've told her to get on balance.
She needs balance.
Yeah, she does. She is going to.
So good for progesterone.
Yes. Okay, Accutane.
Yes.
Roaccutane. Is there a difference between Roaccutane and Accutane?
No,
It's just
same.
different. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
All right, what is it?
So Roaccutane is a synthetic drug that is really, really high in vitamin A.
Yeah.
So vitamin A in that dose essentially makes your skin like the Sahara Desert. It dries everything out so much that your pores are so incredibly tight that the bacteria can't essentially purge through, because your oil glands have actually got no sebaceous activity within them at all. So Roaccutane gets amazing results, but it does not treat that root cause.
Yeah.
So Roaccutane, yes, will really help to support the oil production, but it won't actually remove the bacteria from the body. So as we were saying when we first started the podcast, acne is a bacterial condition. So we want to ensure that we essentially remove that bacteria from the body. So then that way it's not going to purge through the skin. It can be good to do a gut cleanse while you're on Roaccutane. So any of my girls that come in and see me at the clinic that are on Roaccutane, I always say 3 months before you come off this, we are doing so much gut work.
Yeah.
So then that way we can ensure that your skin does not break out when you come off of the Roaccutane.
Yeah.
And it usually won't break out straight away. It's usually 6 months down the track that the skin starts breaking out again. But I do feel like Roaccutane can come with some pretty heavy side effects, whether that is mood disorders. It can really, I guess, just drive the cells out within the body as well. So it can really drive a lot of excessive thirst. It can make your lips really cracked. I've had some clients where like their feet will bleed. It can honestly be wild.
Yeah.
But if you're supporting your body while you're on Roaccutane, it can really, really help to soften those effects. So when I was on Roaccutane, what I found best was high dosing fish oils, where I actually used to take about anywhere from 4 to 6 capsules per day. So 2 in the morning, 2 at lunchtime, 2 at nighttime. So the fish oils are just really anti-inflammatory, and they're just really hydrating for the cells. I also used to take some herbs just to help to support my liver detoxification, and then I also did some work just helping to essentially treat my gut and remove these bacteria as well.
Yeah. As you said, it's a high dose of vitamin A, and obviously vitamin A is an important supplement, but because it is such a high dose,
Such a high dose.
So yeah, okay. can you take, because I remember you've put me on vitamin A, a more of a natural
Yeah, so that would
supplement.
probably be like 1/50th of the dose of Roaccutane.
So it's really high. Okay. Because obviously Roaccutane has that, I would say, what's the word? Like, a lot of people are scared of it because of the side effects. I know I personally was. I've heard so many stories. And I think because once I got to the point of trying, I'd been on metformin, antibiotics, the pill, like all the things. And then I deep dived into healing naturally. I just,
Wasn't an option.
It wasn't an option for me because I knew my long-term picture of healing naturally, no matter how long it took, supporting my body to have kids in the future. Like that for me was just way bigger and more important than clearing my skin in the short. And I think Roaccutane is a big decision, I would think. And I think for anyone out there considering it or maybe not sure about it, I think it's just up to you and what you feel aligns with you and your values, I guess, in life. I know that sounds deep, but it's like it can cause a lot of different things. And like I said earlier, everyone is different. Like we know so many people on it, no issues, come off it, no issues. I know how many times I've put on my story like, all right, side effects of Roaccutane, like what's everyone's stories? And it's literally 50-50 of perfect, amazing, best thing I ever did and worst thing I ever did.
Yeah.
So you're never going to know until you do it.
Just highlights too, everyone's genetics are so differently.
Yeah.
And one thing that works really well for someone might not work well for another person. And something I do like to remind my girls, if we have essentially done so much work on their gut, so much work on their hormones and their skin is still not clearing, is you can always go on Roaccutane, and if your side effects are bad, you're not stuck on it. You can come off of it.
Yeah.
So I do feel as though, sometimes when skin feels so debilitating and so consuming, Roaccutane can be that good option. And I know for me it was such a mental battle before I went on it because it did go against my values. And I guess after studying a 4-year health science degree, I'm like, I do not want to put that medication in my body. And I think it was my mum actually that said to me, like, why don't you just give it a go? And it was kind of at that point I was just like, I think I need to do it.
And too, like for you, an experiment also to then have like, for me, like going to a naturopath and getting support from someone who's truly done it all, has experienced Roaccutane, experienced not doing it, the long acne journey, like I just feel so much more faith and like trust because you've been through it. There's nothing worse than going to someone who just doesn't get it. Like I just,
or judges.
I went to a dermatologist once and like never went again and walked out crying. Like I was just like, you don't get it. And yeah, like there was so many times I'd like voice memo you crying because I'm like, I think this is it. I just need to go on Roaccutane. Like it's fucking hard. And like having acne is such a physical appearance. Like
you can't hide it.
No, you can't. It's just honestly so hard. For anyone that is on Roaccutane, well, like you said, 3 months to coming off is the ideal prep work frame.
Yeah.
What is something other than the fish oils that you would recommend to take just to really support the body?
If they're about to come off.
Just if they're on it.
If they're on it, fish oils definitely, the whole health gut cleanse. So just doing that work just to really help to repair their gut lining as well, just in case the Roaccutane has done any damage to the gut lining. You want to ensure that that secretory IgA is really nice and strong, and also just ensuring that you don't have any bacteria, any parasites, any candida species that are overgrowing within the gut. So just doing that work to help to reset your gut health before you come off is so important. One thing I guess that really frustrates me, which I mean I do understand why derms do it, but a lot of dermatologists will actually get their clients to go on the oral contraceptive pill while they're on the Roaccutane as well. It's usually hand in hand. You can say no to it. I did, which my derm was not happy about, just because if you do fall pregnant when you're on Roaccutane, it can actually cause birth defects in the baby, just because when you're on such high doses of vitamin A, it can cause neural tube defects. However, if you're coming off Roaccutane, you're coming off birth control at the same time, again, it's this perfect storm for your skin to break out. So if you are on birth control while you're on Roaccutane, you also want to do some work helping to balance your hormones out. So then that way when you stop that birth control, your sebaceous glands don't switch back on and don't essentially create that perfect recipe for a skin breakout.
Yeah, as soon as I saw the derm, she said the same thing. I was like, the pill's not an option for me. Like it just isn't. But again, everyone is so completely different. Just so much knowledge. I just love the way you explain things. Like you've told me this a million times and every time it just lands differently. I'm just like, wow.
Oh, that's good. Hopefully it's nice and simple and makes sense.
Yeah, it's perfect. Okay, lots of questions to go through. You've answered a lot, so I'm just going to work through our list here and see what we haven't answered. A lot of questions around PCOS and endometriosis and the link to acne.
Yes. Hormones and inflammation, essentially.
Yeah.
So with both PCOS and endo, they're both hormonal conditions. So our hormones, as we were saying earlier, can really influence and exacerbate skin. Endo is also an inflammatory condition. Usually with endometriosis as well, there's actually a lot of research coming out to say that it connects with our gut microbiome. Right. So our gut microbiome, especially too, if these bad bacteria can actually trigger your immune system, that's what actually allows that endometrial tissue to start growing in places it should not be growing. So again, doing a gut cleanse, if in turn you've got endo and your skin is breaking out, can actually be so beneficial. I actually like to do a lot of gut work with my endo girls, just in case they do have these bacteria that trigger their immune system.
Yeah. With I'm not sure about endo, but being someone who has PCOS, I was always told it's treatable, not curable. What's your thoughts on, I guess, erasing PCOS?
So
or
it's
endo?
about, I guess, identifying the symptoms that you're displaying with the PCOS and then managing those symptoms.
Yep.
So it can be different for everyone. Some girls can experience insulin resistance, so their blood sugar levels will be out of balance. So this insulin resistance will then cause them to not ovulate regularly, therefore driving the PCOS. Some girls can have an excess of androgens and testosterone, low levels of progesterone. When this happens, your luteinizing hormone is less inclined to surge, stimulate that ovary to then release that egg. So I guess it's about managing symptoms. So if you are getting blood glucose imbalances, myo-inositol is really, really good. Cinnamon can be great for helping to regulate your blood sugar levels, really focusing on high protein, high fat diet, low carbohydrate. You obviously just want to have your good quality carbs like your brown rice, whole grains, and kind of steer clear of your processed carbohydrates. That will really spike your insulin levels and really exacerbate that blood sugar or insulin resistance in the body.
Yeah.
You also want to focus on just helping to support stress levels as well, because as we said, stress can influence our hormones so much. So if your body's in that fight and flight response, your body's not going to feel safe to ovulate. So you also want to ensure that you're taking a supplement to help to switch on that ovulation as well. So then that way your ovaries and your brain are communicating effectively.
So interesting. Because when I first got diagnosed with PCOS, a lot of people said insulin resistance, but then equally my testosterone was really high as well. And just experiencing, like, I know so many girls experience with like extra hair growth, obviously acne, and then all the irregular periods and hormones and sorts of things. And I think a lot of people feel like when I was going through my diagnosis journey was like, it's a lot harder to like diagnose it depending on like your symptoms and everything. And I would say I had like almost all of them plus the bloods and everything. But then also there's a lot of overlooked people who doctors are just like, oh, like you're fine. Yeah. And they're really
even
struggling.
Post-pill PCOS as well.
Yeah.
Where girls will get diagnosed with PCOS and sometimes they don't even have it. And then they just hold on to this diagnosis of I'm going to struggle down the track to have a baby. When it might not actually be the case. It's just that their ovaries haven't been releasing eggs, so they've just got all these increased follicles present.
I always wonder because mine all came about post-pill, but considering I got my period at 16 and it was irregular from day one, so like potentially, and it does run in my family, so potentially it was there earlier, but when I got diagnosed, like my mum didn't even know what PCOS was. So we were both learning and just researching, trying to figure it out, and it can be so, I think I was diagnosed at 18, 19, and it's just like you think, I remember getting my internal ultrasound and all I said was, can I have kids? Like it was my first question because they put so much fear into you that you can't. And it's something I've had to work through, and it's like I've identified with PCOS or I've identified with acne, and I'm like, no, like yes, I might still have some sort of symptoms, but I'm like, no, that's not me.
Yeah, you don't want to be, hi, I'm Tori, I've got acne.
Literally. And that was me for so long.
Can get so consuming.
Yeah. A random one, but a fun one. Is vegan protein better than whey protein for skin?
Oh, so for me, I don't actually love protein powders.
Yeah.
And for me, it's not something I ever have in my diet.
Yeah.
Just because I'm a big fan of actually getting protein from protein sources. So I guess in saying that, the only reasoning why a vegan protein would be better than a whey-based protein is because of the dairy in it.
Yeah.
There's so much research that says that dairy can fuel or essentially feed P. acne bacteria. But then there's other research that says that dairy doesn't influence the skin at all. So I do like to remind my clients that your body is your best science experiment. And just because cutting dairy out of someone's diet helped their skin doesn't mean it's going to help yours. So just experiment with it. Cut dairy out of your diet for 2 weeks. If your skin improves, then it's a telltale sign dairy's triggering your skin. If it doesn't, then dairy's not a trigger for you.
Yeah. I had such a fear of gluten and dairy for so long, and it stemmed from my mum and dad both being, dad being dairy intolerant, mum being gluten. I would say we've worked through the gluten phase. Like I eat gluten every day now, but the dairy still is like
A bit
really
of a
scary.
trigger.
So over Easter, I'm like, no, I'm allowed to have some dairy chocolate because I would just always have dark chocolate. I've just grown to prefer it a lot more. So I'm going to be very interested to see how my skin reacts, because I would say I honestly think the stress of eating dairy causes more acne than the actual dairy itself, which is a whole process in itself. But another question just on that was, do I need to stay away from gluten and dairy my entire life as a PCO endo girly?
Oh, I'm all about having variety in your diet.
Yeah.
So I hate cutting things out. I just think because when I was at uni, I was so restrictive within my diet and had so many rules around food. And it's probably only been like the last 4 or 5 years where I eat everything again. And I don't feel guilty if I have, I guess, foods that used to be trigger foods for me, which is so nice. It's so good to have that mental freedom. So I've got endo as well, and I personally eat gluten in my diet occasionally. It's definitely not an everyday food for me. And I guess I'm mindful to make sure I balance it out by eating good quality fats, taking my supplements. But I do feel as though it's just about getting enjoyment out of your life as well. And it's so nice to be able to go out to Paddock and get a croissant, or
100%.
to be able to share a treaty.
I think I healed mine in Bali last year, at the end of last year. Like, that's 5 years into this journey of trying to overcome it. But I just said, when I go to Bali, I'm having everything. And I just let go of the fear, the pressure, the stress, and just was like, whatever happens, happens. I was fine.
Yeah, it's so good.
Wonderful. And I've said this so many times, but I truly think a big cause of my acne was the fear of other things causing my acne, when it was really the stress of that thing, if that makes sense. Someone said, how long does herbal medicine take to work?
So usually it takes around about 3 to 4 weeks to really break that P. acne bacteria cycle. So usually within the first 3 to 4 weeks, that's when you'll really start to notice that bacteria clearing out. You'll start to notice less actives coming through the skin. And then after that, it's essentially about helping to lower that inflammation, turn your skin cells over, and really support the healing within the skin.
Yeah, I'm all for herbal medicine. Love it.
But yeah, I would say at least give it like a good month to start seeing like proper results, and then about 2 to 3 months to really see things clear.
Which can be so hard when you have acne. You just want something to work.
Absolutely.
Tomorrow.
Quick.
Yesterday.
Quick fix.
Yeah. So it is really hard to, and I was the same. I would buy new skincare. It didn't work in a week. Oh, let's buy something else. Like you have to give these things time, especially when you're working with the gut.
Chopping and changing, your skin can just get so confused as well.
Completely. Been trying to heal naturally for 3 years with a naturopath, and it just won't heal. Is medication sometimes needed?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a big believer too that if you don't get results within the first couple of months with the practitioner that you're working with, try something new.
Yeah.
Because so often I have had girls come into the clinic that said that they feel like they've tried everything with the naturopath that they used to work with, and their skin's not budging. We do a gut cleanse, skin budges. And I mean, in saying that too, I'm sure that there's girls that have come and seen me in at the clinic and maybe haven't gotten good results, and they go and see someone else. So I do feel as though it can be so nice to get someone else's perspective on your health, get someone else to take your case, and just try something new if you've been trying something for the last 3 years and it's not working.
100%. Why does your skin flare up on your period or the week before?
So usually it's because of the hormonal shift that happens within the body. So just before our period, if in turn we're not pregnant, what happens is we actually have a drop in our progesterone. So if you were pregnant, progesterone would rise to then hold the baby. So when we have this drop in progesterone, our sebaceous glands are able to make more oil. As soon as we have this overproduction within oil within our skin, it feeds the bacteria and then it's going to trigger a breakout.
Right. There you go, guys. We've had it here first. When does post-pill acne calm down?
Oh, everyone's so different. And sometimes too, girls come off the pill and it's not until 6 months down the track that their skin starts breaking out, which is why, like what we just discussed before, do that prep work before you stop taking the pill. So then that way post-pill acne is just not even a thing for you.
Yeah. I feel like this is also very individualized, but best acne supplements.
Whole health.
Healthy skin, obviously, guys.
I guess after working with herbs for 9 years, the formulation of healthy skin, I have just seen get the most incredible results in my clinic. So it's got 2 blends of echinacea in it that really help to regulate the immune system. So beneficial at helping to support your immune system in targeting that P. acne bacteria. It's also got a nice high dose of burdock, so it really helps to cleanse the lymphatic system, reduce that congestion within the skin. It's also got some calendula in it, which is a really beautiful anti-inflammatory skin herb. So incredible for just helping to reduce redness, support skin healing. It's also got some St. Mary's thistle, so it's going to help to detox your liver, really help to clear out any bacteria that your body's probably trying to get rid of. It's also got some zinc and vitamin C in it as well. Again, amazing for collagen, really, really good for helping to support skin healing. Also has some licorice root, which is great for helping to target any excess androgens and testosterone within the body.
Yeah.
So obviously that paired with the gut cleanse, it's like
it's a recipe for glowy skin.
Exactly.
And like, again, you're getting this from the naturopath herself, but also someone who's been through her own skin journey, which I feel like is just very promising. Does green tea take away acne?
Oh, I wouldn't say it takes away acne.
Yeah.
But I mean, green tea's got so many benefits to it. Green tea contains L-theanine, which is amazing for your nervous system. It's also going to help to support liver detoxification, and it's packed full of antioxidants. So can definitely be beneficial for our health, but I wouldn't be rushing out and buying green tea if you've got acne.
Yeah. What about spearmint tea?
That's good if you've got an overproduction of your androgens and testosterone. So it's just good for helping to clear those hormones from the body.
Yeah.
So definitely, I mean, I love herbal teas because obviously if you're drinking herbal teas, it's going to help to support your lymphatic system and clear things out of the body.
I need to, especially coming into winter, I need to get back on my tea grind. Acne scarring remedies.
Oh, so this, I mean, there's so many different treatments out there. For me, the things that I've seen get the best results would probably either be skin needling, but with the plasma. So I got 3 sessions of this and I saw some really, really good results where they actually take your blood from your arm, they spin it, and then they get the plasma out and they actually needle it into your skin.
Yeah,
really, really good for helping to support that collagen production within the skin.
Right.
Different chemical peels can be good. I mean, obviously that sounds pretty intense, but it's usually things like salicylic acid, which is just really good for helping to turn your skin cells over, really good for hydration, really good for helping to repair the skin. Something I've been doing a lot of research into and I'm so tempted to go and get is the CO2 laser. I'm not sure if you've seen it.
I don't think so, no.
Oh, it's hectic. You probably need like a week or 2 downtime after it. But what it essentially does is it just resurfaces your skin.
And it take off like the top layer.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
it pretty
I think
much
my mum's
burns
had
your
it.
skin off.
Yeah.
But incredible for anti-aging, amazing for acne as well.
Yeah. Okay. Very interesting. How important are products we use versus sleep and stress and nutrition? So I guess supplementing versus like the basics.
I guess everything matters. Having a good skincare routine at home is important. Obviously, if you're just using Proactive on your skin, it can just really strip that barrier layer and really strip things off. So you want to ensure that you're using products that work for your skin. Everyone's skin is so different. So I do feel like home care products work differently for everyone. Some girls love certain products and then other girls will try it, didn't work for their skin. So it's about finding what feels good for your skin and your pH balance within the skin. Managing your stress is so important. Also ensuring that you're getting 7 to 8 hours sleep each night, so important.
Yeah.
And also just ensuring that you're eating well, exercising regularly. Sometimes I think with health, we overcomplicate it so much, but it's just literally about stripping it back to the basics and also just doing what feels good for you and what feels good for your schedule as well. Because sometimes when we put all this pressure on ourselves of got to wake up at 5 a.m. and go for a walk, I got to eat healthy, nourishing foods every single day, it's so stressful because you might not have time for it.
Yeah.
So it's just about, I guess, identifying what feels good for you and what is manageable for you that's not going to exacerbate your stress response.
Yeah, especially on social media now, having like that girl aesthetic. And like I saw this like 30-step routine in the morning. Like I couldn't believe it. I was like, that is astronomical. Like if you have time for that in the morning,
2 hours later.
I'm sorry. It looked beautifully relaxing, but I was just like, I can't even explain. It was like one thing after another, and like skin routine, I was just like, oh my gosh, like sometimes it can do more harm than good trying to think you have to have all these things.
Yeah.
Go back to the basics and nail it and then move from there.
Yeah. Sometimes I say to my girls, if right now all that feels good is taking your supplements, let's just do that for a week. And then once that is feeling doable, let's start making changes to your breakfast.
Yeah.
And then once we've nailed breakfast, then let's start making changes to your lunch.
Yeah.
And just
100%.
chip away at it slowly. Otherwise, if you do everything at once, it's literally like a fad. It's never a lifestyle transition. You'll do it for a little while and then you'll just fall off the bandwagon.
Yeah. And I remember going through like stages of like having so many supplements and seeing different people. It was just like more overwhelming. And I remember Rach, who is my acupuncturist, who works at Whole Health.
Love Rachie.
Love Rach. She
Obsessed.
was like, when have you not taken a supplement? Like for one day. I was like, probably like 4 years. She was like, how about we just have 2 weeks off? Like, how about we just chill out for a second? And I think that helped so much in just being like, I was stressing so much about my supplements. Like if I left the house and didn't have them after I ate, I would turn around, go back and have them. Then I'd be late to where I was going and like just would cause so much stress. And even now I'm on my supplements from you and like coming back to the Gold Coast, I knew I was going to get a top up. So I didn't bring any here. I was like, it's okay. Weekend off's not going to harm. Like I think
nice
it
to
just
have a little break.
Yeah. And it just allows you to just like enjoy and be a bit more present sometimes. Hello, beautiful girl. A few more to go. Is it normal to get hormonal breakouts in your 30s?
It can be if there's bacteria in your body.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do feel as though most people have some form of bacterial overgrowth in their body, whether it be parasites, whether it be worms, whether it just be bacterial dysbiosis. Sorry, Wilma just did a burp. She's such a burpy dog. I don't know if anyone else's dog burps,
funny.
but like she burps every day.
Oh, I love it.
So yeah, I do feel as though it can be normal. However, there's things that you can do to prevent the breakouts from coming on, whether it's about taking a hormone balancing supplement, whether it's doing a gut cleanse. It can, provide a lot of benefit in reducing those breakouts before your menstrual cycle or reducing breakouts in your 30s.
Yeah. And there was a few questions just around like people not having skin issues or acne like their whole life, and then they get to like their mid-20s and it just comes like someone said, is it like second puberty or again just coming back to the hormonal?
Well, it could also be gut related.
Yeah.
Like say, for example, they go to Bali, they get a parasite or they get Bali belly, or it could be that they've gone away camping and they've drunk some water and then got a little parasite or a little bacterial overgrowth within their gut, or they've hit their 20s, they're working full time, they're having to pay all their bills, stress response elevates, secretory IgA in the gut drops, and then that immune system of the digestive system can't fight that dysbiosis that's happening within the gut.
Yeah.
So I do feel as though it just really depends what phase that you're in regards to your stress response, what's happening with your gut health and what's happening with your hormones.
Yeah, it makes sense. Two little side notes of acne, but still kind of related. A few questions around like bacne.
Oh, yes.
Would you say, is it similar cause? I know like Lil's struggle with a bit of acne. and will have like perfect skin on their face and chest, but like their back is just.
I can see it with clients that train quite regularly, and it can be because if they're obviously exercising, they're going to be sweating, and then they might stay in their gym clothes for a little bit, and then that bacteria from the sweat just builds up in their gym outfits, and then that can actually trigger the back knee to come on. So I actually like to suggest to a lot of my girls to actually do a really big hot wash of their gym. So like just really upping the temperature on their washing machine and actually, hot washing their gym outfits, obviously ensuring they're not adding like black ones or coloured ones in with whites. Otherwise, that hot wash will make the colours come out.
Separate them always.
Make sure you separate them. But that can be a really good way just to make sure that they're actually getting rid of the bacteria that can build up in their activewear.
And I don't know, personally, I don't like soap and like get back there. Like, so even if you're showering, you're not really scrubbing your back. I think like really getting it clean would probably help as well. Yeah,
probably help cleaning out the pores a little bit more.
Yeah. And the last one was periodermatitis.
Yes.
What is that caused by?
So perioral can again be multifactorial. It can be connected to our digestive system, but it can also be connected to our hormones as well.
Yeah.
So just really helping to ensure that your body's not overproducing any estrogens, and also doing that work to help to essentially cleanse your gut of any bacterias and repairing that secretory IgA. The healthy skin support's really good for perioral because it's essentially like a dermatitis.
Yeah.
LED light therapy is really, really good as well. I'm a huge fan of those LED face masks that you can do at home. They're honestly so incredible. Yeah. If you do 2 sessions of that LED back to back, it's pretty much almost as strong as going in and getting an LED session in the clinic.
I always just was like, oh, it's not strong enough as the clinic. Like, no, it's not going to do anything.
Yes.
Okay,
so
good to know, because I have 2 at home. So
I've got
no excuse.
I've got the Omnilux one, and one of my girlfriends, she's a skin therapist, and that's what she told me.
Actually, I have 3. I have one, it's like glasses and it just sits over. And then I have the one with the eye gaps that sits on your face. But then I have this one, I can't remember what brand it was. Gratefully they sent it to me, but it's like this full-on like helmet, and it's like, I think it would be pretty high like quality. It seems really good. But then it has like head massages, like it vibrates.
Oh my God, slay.
Yeah, I know. Okay, I need to bring it up. I need to get back on that.
You definitely need to bring that out.
Yeah, okay. Because I've started to notice like a bit of peril like under my nose, my nostrils here, which I've like never had before. So I'm like, that's annoying.
Good vitamin E moisturizer really help to hydrate that area. But obviously just, keep doing that work on your gut, and I'm sure it'll lift out.
Yeah. Last one, which I just thought of in terms of skincare, would you say less is more? Like, what's your thoughts?
Well, I mean, obviously everyone's skin is so different, but we don't want to over exfoliate. We don't want to over cleanse. Otherwise, you're just stripping that skin barrier. It is also nice to use products that are all the same brand, because obviously that brand has designed the product range in mind that if you're using their cleanser, you're going to be using their moisturizer as well, and they just complement each other really well. I really like the Synergy products. Have you ever used those before? Them, I've heard of them. Yeah, I really like Synergy, and I also really like the Functional Skin. That's been made by a skin therapist in Brisbane, Maddie. And she's amazing and just so knowledgeable. Her blends are just really nice and gentle and really nice and calming for the skin as well. Yeah,
because I feel like you don't want anything harsh.
No.
Especially with that cystic acne, like there's nothing worse. And you feel like you want to exfoliate, but it
just dry it out.
Yeah, it's just not great.
But if you're over exfoliating, then those natural oils just switch on even more. And again, the sebaceous glands just switch on even more. Yeah. So
think very like gentle and like Okay, one thing I feel like helped. I was always scared to put serums on because I think you think acne and you think oily skin. So for so long I just would think to like keep it as dry as possible. Don't use oils and hyaluronic serums. When I switched to focusing on hydration, I feel like my skin transformed.
Yeah.
And skin barrier. When I added like a hyaluronic serum and my moisturizer was like a very gel cream, barrier cream, it changed so much. And I think there's this misconception with acne being oily skin, so don't use oils on your skin. and maybe everyone's different, but I just saw the biggest transformation, and one of my good friends did as well when started focusing on hydration in the skin.
Yeah, so important.
Yeah.
I literally like lather my skin in serums and like moisturizer to lock it in before I go to bed.
Yes.
And I feel like too, when your skin is hydrated, then your skin is less inclined to then overproduce those oils.
Hey, you guys heard it here first. I can guarantee there's so many out there thinking the same, like don't use oils.
Yeah.
And then just like sticking to, if you can, non-comedogenic products to help with not clogging those pores.
Yes. Yeah. You want to make sure that, those pores are able to breathe.
Yeah.
And try not to pick your skin. I know that sounds like the most basic advice, but sometimes when your skin is breaking out, your only control feels like to extract that breakout. But if you extract it, you're just going to spread that bacteria, cause trauma, cause scarring. The list goes on. So if I ever have got a pimple that I just need to get the bacteria out of, I'll stick a little needle into it, and rather than dig in, I'll kind of just like put pressure on the skin and just allow it to pop out, or I'll go and get a facial and get them to do the extractions for me.
Obviously facialists do extractions, but they've got all the tools, they know what they're doing, but I feel like we get our dirty grubby hands in there and just cause
busting that skin.
I am like, no one touched my face ever. If my hair's on my face, if Jackson touched, if no one touched my face. I have this weird thing, it's so bad. But anyway, incredible. That's like one of my favorite episodes.
Oh, I love that.
I just think people are going to listen and go, wow, incredible. So thank you so much for coming on and just like sharing your knowledge. I'm sure we'll be back for more, because every time you come on, people are just like, we want more. So thank you. Is there anything else you feel like you need to add with?
No, I feel like we have covered everything. Loved all the questions that the girls wrote in. So many questions.
So many. I was like, oh my gosh. Amazing. Well, where can everyone find you and your amazing supplements?
So website is wholehealthstudio.com.au. So all the supplements have gone through the TGA. So everything's TGA registered. Everything gets tested. There's so much science behind the product range. And you can access the product range without having a consultation with me.
Yeah. And they're incredible, guys. You heard it here first. Tia, thank you so much, and hope you guys absolutely loved this episode, and we'll see you in the next Skin Series episode.
Thanks for having me. Bye.